one of the number one questions that I get asked all the time, especially because I think now that I'm entering into the world of perimenopause, it is becoming more and more prevalent that I get asked all the time, can you actually cycle sync if you're in perimenopause? Makes sense, right? If we don't have a regular cycle, if we can't predict when that cycle's coming, if we don't know what's going on and our bodies get all haywire and doing all these weird different things, like how can we actually use that in cycle sync? Same thing like when we look at menopause or birth control or any of these type of things, when our cycle is not regular, it can really lead people to believing that you can't actually use it. And I think that this is one of the biggest mistakes that we could make. One, because if we look at any of the laws of the universe, if we look at Mother Nature, there is so much rhythm. There's so much rhythm. There's rhythm in the seasons of the year. There's rhythms in the way migration patterns happen. There's rhythms in the stock market. There's rhythms in so many different ways. And so why would we think that as we go through perimenopause that our rhythms would disappear and that we would no longer have a rhythm? What I think actually in fact happens is that when our bodies get so messy, right, when they're doing all kinds of weird hormonal shifts and they're doing all kinds of different things, it's giving us a special opportunity to listen deeper. What happens in perimenopause is that the symptoms of our bodies get so much bigger. They get so much louder. They're so much messier. And what it does is it really allows us to get clearer on what our body's actually speaking to us, which if we look at cycle syncing as a whole, that's the core premise of it. That's the gift of it. Like, I love telling people about their menstrual cycles. I really do. I love helping them learn how to give themselves more grace, how to give themselves more space, how much more permission to amplify what they're able to get done, what they're able to do. But at the core of all of it, it's helping them learn to listen to themselves, like helping them learn to listen to their bodies and to stop seeing their bodies as a problem. Your body is not a problem. Perimenopause is not a problem that we have to go through. It's our bodies speaking to us in bigger and louder and bolder ways. It's causing us to actually go deeper into actually listening to it, right? Now we're in a space of our bodies doing all kinds of weird things that we weren't unaware of that were going to happen before. One, calling us to listen to it deeper, and two, to create clear boundaries around that. Asking for what we need. Listening to our bodies for what that actually is in the first place, and then being able to create structures and systems and placements to really be able to support yourself. So when we look at can you actually cycle sync in perimenopause, maybe you're not taking the actual like Pinterest graphic that you see on the internet and just slapping it into your cycle, but yes, you can actually cycle sync. When you look at what the core premise of cycle syncing does, is cycle syncing is helping you actually access into the gifts and the powers of your body. 1000%, you can still do that in perimenopause. But beyond that, what happens when we start to sync up and we start to look at what are these laws of the universe and what are these rhythms of the universe that our bodies are meeting up with, when we look at the circadian rhythm. Our circadian rhythm is matching up with day and night. When we look at the seasons of the year, when we look at, all of these different laws that exist in our world and exist in the universe, the moon is the one that closely resembles the way the woman's body functions. Just like the sun functions on this daily rhythm, like men's testosterone and hormones, the moon functions like that for women. And so what I find for a lot of the women that I work with in perimenopause is that as you navigate through, really relying and trusting into the rhythm of the moon can really be supportive for you. So there's two pieces of this, right? It's one, understanding and starting to listen to your bodies and set those boundaries with what you need and being willing to speak up for what you need. And two, being able to help create some rhythm and some balance with your body with the rhythm of the moon. Our bodies are so smart. They are so stinking smart. Did you know that? Like, they learn based on the habits that we give it. So if you give it the rhythm of the moon, your body will learn that rhythm. It's just like intermittent fasting. When I was intermittent fasting for a while, I got hangry. like really, truly hangry first thing in the morning for the first couple of weeks. And then after a while, my body knew, like, hey, we don't eat at 7 o'clock anymore. We don't eat until whatever time. Don't do it anymore. But my body would stop sending me hunger cues in the first bit of the morning because it learns, right? When you set an alarm in the morning and maybe you decide, hey, I want to start waking up at 5 o'clock every morning, God help you. But you set that alarm at 5 o'clock, chances are the first couple of weeks, you're not going to be waking up at 5 o'clock. You're going to be hitting snooze and hitting snooze. But after a while, you help reset that circadian rhythm to where now you're waking up earlier again, or for the first time. Same thing happens when we look at our menstrual cycle, when we look at our bodies. Like, we have so much more power over the rhythms of our bodies than we give it credit for. So many women feel like they're just a victim to the perimenopause symptoms. They just feel like they're a victim to the rhythms. They feel victim to their cycle. They feel like they're a victim to their energy and all of these things. And if you have something chronic going on, I would love to help find somebody that can help support you, because I don't believe that anybody should be having to deal with that. But also, we have so much more influence over our rhythms and over our bodies and over our energy and over our thoughts than we really give it credit for, okay? So, circling back, can you actually cycle sync if you're in perimenopause? 1000%. And I would say it's even more important that you cycle sync in perimenopause than any other time, because your body's not going to let you ignore it. Your body is not going to let you ignore the hormone shifts that are happening inside your body. And if you try to just ignore it, you're going to end up with far worse symptoms than if you start listening to it and start leaning into it. Okay? If you have not already got a copy of my book, I don't even have it ready, Cycle Sync Your Business, go over and grab it, reneefick.com/free book. All you do is cover shipping and handling, and I will send it to you if you are in the United States. If you're outside the United States and you want the first couple chapters, or in the United States, you can have that too. If you're in the United States or outside the United States and you want the first couple chapters on audiobook, you can go over to reneefick.com/chapter and grab access to that. And I will see you in my next live. I didn't even say, this is day 19. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that you loved the book. I want to get it into the hands of more women. So if you know more women that would love it, definitely share it off. But this is day 19 of my 30-day journey into going live with my cycle. It's not actually day 19 of going live. This is only my day 4 or 5 going live, because I started mid-cycle. But I wanted to be able to, 1, challenge myself to grow in going live every day, and 2, also give a good reflection of what it really looks like as I feel going live throughout the month, because I can guarantee you, as we get closer into this next week, I think I'm just at the peak of that ovulation phase. I don't think that next week I'm going to feeling so hot about going live, and you'll see that. You'll see the real world look of what it looks like for me going live in the middle of my luteal phase. So anyway, have a fantastic day. Go grab your copy of the book if you haven't already, and I will see you tomorrow for day 20.